Hello everyone. As we know that many topic pertaining to Unit 2 we have already studied. For example, how we can define total stress, neutral stress, effective stress. We have also talked about what is the laminar flow, turbulent flow, what do you mean by permeability, what is Darcy law, what is the validity or limitation of Darcy law, what is discharge velocity, seepage velocity, and what are the factors which affect the permeability. So these parameters, these topics already we have studied in the Unit 2. Now the next topic is how we can determine permeability or coefficient of permeability. See, whenever I talk about the coefficient of permeability, that means permeability only. So how we can determine the permeability in the laboratory? So for this, two methods are there. One is called as constant head permeability test, and the second one is falling head or variable head permeability test. You can see here two figures are there. This figure indicates for the constant head permeability test, and this is for falling head permeability test. You have to remember it. Constant head permeability test is carried out for the coarse grain soil, right? And falling head permeability test is carried out for the cohesive soil, clay soil, or the fine grain soil. Why? What is the problems? Why actually how it is used for the coarse grain soil and this is for the fine grain soil? What is the reason? Reason is that, see, suppose you are going to use the falling head methods for the coarse grain soil. So in that case, what will happen? The water will pass very fastly, and you will not be able to determine the permeability. You will not be able to assess the amount of water which passes through the soil media, right? Passes through the soil media, and you cannot in a particular time, right? So it will be very difficult. So that's why for constant head methods, we have to also maintain the constant head of the water, right? For the determination of permeability for a coarse grain soil, right? So here as you can see, this is actually called as permeameter, right? Here standpipes are there. We shall also talk one by one. So first we shall go for the constant head permeability test. You can see here, continuously we are going to maintain the constant head for the determination of permeability for a coarse grain soil. You can see the amount of water which you are going to collect in the jar or a beaker is a Q, capital Q, and time also we are going to measure. So the total discharge, right? Once the water is going to pass through this soil sample. So this is the soil sample, okay? From here to here, it is the length of the sample. And this will indicate the cross-sectional area of the sample, capital A, and this will be the length of the sample. So we have taken this the cross-section, sectional view of this, the apparatus we can say, or these experiments. So Q is equal to Q by T. That means how much water is going to be permeate or stored in this beaker, right, in a particular time. So total amount of water by time is nothing but discharge, as you know, cubic meter per second. So discharge we can write Q is equal to Q by T. And we have also studied in the Darcy law that Q is equal to VA. V is nothing but velocity of flow through the soil media, Ki. So V is equal to Ki. So I is the hydraulic gradient and A is the cross-sectional area of the sample. Suppose you are going to use this two equation, Q by T is equal to Kia. So what will be the values of K? K will be equal to Q by T into 1 by I into A. And I, as you know, H by L, the head divided by length of the sample. So Q by T, L by H into A. So we can calculate the permeability in case of a constant head method by using this formula. So K is equal to QL by AST or THA, right? But whenever you are going to carry out the experiment, you have to also always keep in your mind that the soil, unless the soil will not be fully saturated, we shall not store the water in the beaker, right, in a particular time. Because in the beginning, air bubble will pass, right? And a steady state, that is called a steady state of flow. That means continuous flow will not be there. That means air is there already in the voids. So we have to remove all the voids, all the airs from the voids, right? That means unless the soil is going to be fully saturated and continuous flow is going to take place, then only we have to collect the soil, collect the water in the beaker. So Q by T. So this is the formula which we can use for the constant head permittivity test or constant head method. Now we shall see the next one is called as falling head permittivity test. This apparatus is available in our lab. So here what it says that a stent pipe of known cross section. This is the stent pipe. This is made of glass, which cross sectional area is a small a, right? And over the permeameter. So this is called a permeameter. Here also you can see this is a permeameter, right? In this permeameter, we have kept the soil sample. So height of the sample also we can measure, and the diameter or the cross section area of the sample also we can measure. And the cross section area of this stent pipe also we can find out. So what we have to do further, as I told in the beginning, unless the steady flow is not there, continuous flow is not there, we shall not begin our experiments. So what it says that the head at any instant time t is equal to the difference in the water level in the stent pipe and the bottom of the tank. So let us see here in the figure, T1 is the time up to his, at this time, the water level is here. And as the time passes, the water level is going to reach at this point here at the height S2. So this is the H1 height. Here time is T1, and at S2 height, time is T2, right? So this amount of water is going to be stored in this beaker. So definitely T2 will be greater than T1. See, this time will be greater than this time, right? So next we shall see. Let H be the head at any intermediate time interval T. At any interval time T, any time we are going to consider. At any time, the head is H, and we are going to take the height of this. The stent pipe is the DH, right? So DH is time in the DH is the height in the DT time, you can say. And minus sign we are writing minus DH means the water level is moving in the downward direction, right? So that's why minus DH sign is written. So from the Darcy law, as we know, Q is equal to the quantity of water, right? The quantity of water available in this stent pipe. So DH is the height, A is the cross section area. So definitely it is the volume of the water, or quantity of water by the time, the DT time. For DH height, the DT time. So as you know, the quantity of water by time, that means cubic meter per second, discharge is cubic meter per second, as we have seen in the constant head method also. There we have written Q by T, capital Q by T. Here we are writing minus DH into A, the cross-sectional area of this stent pipe. So the height into area is the volume and time. So this will be equal to KIA. So let us take these two parts for the further analysis. And I is the hydraulic gradient. So further, how we can write these equations? KH by L into A, because I is equal to H by L. So KH by L into A minus DH into A by DT. Further, we can write AK by AL into DT is equal to minus dH by this H will come here. Okay. So what we are going to do, we are going to integrate these equations. So how we are going to integrate? So as you know, in the previous slide we have seen, so T1 to T2, and this H minus sign is there, minus dH is there, so H1 to H2. If you are going to remove the minus sign, then it will become, the integration will become S2 to H1 dH by H. So further, once you are going to integrate, then we shall get the values AK by AL into T2 minus T1 log E H1 by S2. So T2, suppose you are going to denote the T2 minus T1 is equal to T, then we shall get K is equal to AL by AT log of base 2E H1 by S2. So further, we can write in the form of a base 10, base to 10. So 2.3 AL by AT log of 10 H1 by S2. So this is the permeability which we can use to determine the value of K in case of falling head method. So this is all points which we have discussed today, how we can determine the coefficient of permeability or permeability in the laboratory using constant head method and falling head method. Thank you very much.